Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'll be doing an eyeshadow review and it'll be on the new Etude House Play Color Eyes leather shop. The inspiration that came from this eyeshadow palette for the colors is obviously inspired by the theme leather, whether it's the leather skin color or even like buckle of a leather belt, just pretty much like that. So it consisted a lot of like brown color, a little bit of orange yellow undertone like gold buckle potentially. I know a lot of you guys are also really curious whether this is very similar to the Etude House Bakehouse, which I have here, as well as the Etude House Maple Road, and I will be doing a comparisons for you guys, so stay tuned for that part. With this Play Color Eyes, I have to say I definitely love this already, like jump straight into my thoughts about it, because I myself love dark colors, deep colors. I'm not really neutral light tone shade type of person, just because when I put on makeup I sort of go all the way out, just because I actually don't often wear makeup. So when I saw this eyeshadow palette, I was like, I have to get it, because I do love my Etude House Bakehouse, but I mentioned in that video I felt like some of the colors sometimes can be a little bit light on me. I mean, I can easily play with it, but there are some colors where I felt the need of making it much more darker, hence why I have always loved my Caffeine Holic. In regards of the pigmentation, they are so pigmented. Like, I did this eyeshadow look for you guys, which I'll show you a demo soon, and I did not use any primer and it just went on straight away. There was no fallout as all, which I'm really surprised with as well. And I did mention with the last eyeshadow palette, I think it's probably the Bakehouse one, I feel like the more Play Color Eyes I'm using, the better the formula is. Like, they are upgrading the formula so much more. The pigmentation is just top notch as well. It's just amazing. From looking at the eyeshadows, I can definitely see that it consists a lot of matte colors rather than shimmery colors, which I'm really grateful for, because I love to play with matte colors and I love to add a little bit of shimmer just to pop out the look a little bit more. But I do not prefer having too many shimmeries, because it will just make your eyes smaller and I don't want that. I did use a little bit of shimmer today, which I absolutely love, and I love how fine the glitter is. It's like smooth fine, not like lumpy fine or like rough fine. It just glide on so easily, and I would definitely recommend to use your finger to actually slide on the shimmer, because it warms out on your finger. You go put on your eyes and voila, it just sparkles so much more. Color options are so great because it is so versatile. You can go for a lighter, neutral, day light tone eyeshadow makeup, or you can go for like a smoky eyeshadow look, or you can go like a halo eye effect like me, which is much more deeper. There's so many ways you can actually play with these colors because of the variation that it has in this eyeshadow palette, which I'm super amazed. Like, you get light tone shade here and then you get much more deeper shade, and you can see that these are much more like yellow brown the base, and then here is much more orange undertone base. So I feel like this eyeshadow palette is like a 3-in-1 eyeshadow palette somehow, if that makes sense. Like, it's been a while since I actually really admire an Etude House eyeshadow palette ever since I got my Caffeine Holic. Like, I've always went back with my Caffeine Holic. I mean, I do love my other Play Color Eyes palette, but this has actually wowed me as well in comparison with the Caffeine Holic. Before I show you guys the comparisons, let's jump straight into the eye demo look here, and yeah, let's get started. Alright, the first shade we'll be using will be for the crease, and this one will just go all over the crease with a fluffy brush, and I like to use this one going back and forth just to deepen up the crease area. And then after that, I'll be using another brush to also go over the same area where I put the shading color, and this time it will be more of the terracotta color because I want the orange to be more obvious, and the first color was just to deepen up the eye. Next, I'm going to use a pencil brush, but much more rounded, and apply this darker shade into the outer part and onto the inner corner, making sure leaving the middle part empty. and then going back to the same spot after with the darker brown later. But doing this is just help to give more of that gradation look with 2 different shades when doing the halo eye. Then I'm using another pencil brush to apply the dark brown. This time I'm making sure that the outer part is winged out. And then I'll apply the leftover on the lower lash line as well, just to, you know, make sure all the colors are blend well together nicely on the upper and lower lash line. And as you can see, I'm just leaving the middle line empty again, but making sure I'm doing the halo eye effect. Then just blending everything out with the first shade brush that I use to make sure that there's no harsh lines to be seen. Then I'm going to use my finger to apply this beautiful shimmery shade in the middle, and making sure that I'm just staying in the middle and just blending everything out with the pencil brush again. By doing this, it's just to make sure that the eyeshadows are blended out nicely. To finish off, I will be using eyeliner, fake eyelashes and tight line, and voila, the eye look is complete. If you guys are wondering what contact lens I'm wearing the HAPAKRISTIN Adorable Christine contact lenses. But yeah, I definitely love this look a lot. Hope you guys enjoy my demo of this eyeshadow look. It's so super easy to apply. But yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually discuss the comparison between this Leather Shop with the Bakehouse, with the Chili Moon, with the Maple Road, with the Tulip. And yeah, I'm just looking down because I wrote down lots of notes, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious more so on the comparisons if you guys have owned any of these eyeshadow palettes. First one, we're going to compare the Leather Shop and the Bakehouse. So again, like I mentioned, the Leather Shop is much more of a terracotta and orange base eyeshadow, compared to the Bakehouse one is much more leaning towards like the neutral brown shade. So if I put it side by side, you guys can definitely see the difference. The Bakehouse one is definitely much more lighter, and the Leather Shop is much more darker. And when I actually compare this with the colors, I can actually find Bakehouse has about 7 out of 10 similar colors compared to the Leather Shop. But the ones that I couldn't really find the similarity is more so like those orange or yellow undertone based eyeshadow. Would I say to get the Leather Shop if you have the Bakehouse? I would say yes if you are the type like me where you want to play much more deeper shade colors. I would definitely recommend the Leather Shop. But if you're already happy with your Bakehouse and you don't see the need of actually getting the Leather Shop, I would say you will be okay actually not getting the Leather Shop, just because a lot of the brown based undertone eyeshadows here you can definitely find in the Leather Shop. The Leather Shop is much more for those like me who you want to play much more smoky eye look, a bit more of a pop yellow base, orange base, terracotta base type of eyeshadow. I would definitely recommend the Leather Shop. But again, I'm happy having this too, because both of this will definitely create a different type of eyeshadow looks on your eyes. And I mean, from the Bakehouse one, this particular shade number 1 to 5 has always been such a unique glittery shade for me, and you definitely can't find that in the Leather Shop. Second comparison would be the Leather Shop versus the Maple Road, which you guys are also curious because the colors are similar. But I feel like with the Maple Road, it is much more of a red based undertone rather than a yellow terracotta base. So you see side by side is completely different, and in comparison, the Maple I could find 4 similar shades to the Leather Shop, so not so much differences. If you got the Maple Road one and you felt like a lot of these colors are quite deep for you and you want to get the Leather Shop to try out possibly much more of a lighter shade, you can. I would say that this one is also quite deep as well, but again, like I said, there are like lighter shades in here that you can play with, but they are definitely completely different compared to each other. Then I have the Tulip Day one, which is completely different, but to my surprise, when I was comparing a lot of the colors, I could find 6 similar shades from the Tulip compared to the Leather Shop. And when I meant 6, I don't mean all 6 out of the 9 shades. It's more so a lot of similar colors that was in between some of the shades. You guys will know what I mean once I show you guys all my arm swatches with all of the comparisons I've done, but I just wanted to mention it here just in case you guys are curious. More so like the brown shades underneath here, they are very similar to the Leather Shop, but again Tulip Day is much more leaning towards like a spring type of makeup look rather than like brown type. Oh my god, I'm so bad explaining, but you guys will know what I mean. If you guys have Chili Moon, and I feel like Chili Moon is not so popular compared to Maple Road, but I just want to mention it here because I could find maybe 2 shades in here, just the brown shade and similar to the Leather Shop, but I just wanted to mention it to you guys. And if you guys have Chili Moon and you want to get Leather Shop, definitely recommend to get Leather Shop as well. Other 4 Play Color Eyes palette I have here that I compared with was Wine Party, Rose Wine, Caffeine Holic, which is my favorite, and In the Cafe. And in comparison with all of this, they don't have that much similarity. So if you guys own any 4 of this and you want to get the Leather Shop, you can definitely get the Leather Shop because there's not so much similarities, only maybe 1 or 2, which you guys will also see from the arm swatches. But I definitely have to say that this Leather Shop definitely don't have a lot of duplicate colors, which is great. Possibly a little bit similar to the Bakehouse one, but Bakehouse is much more of lightest tone shade, and then the Leather Shop is much more darker. I'm going to show you guys all my arm swatches of all of the palettes that I've mentioned compared to the Etude House Leather Shop. So let's get started. Hope you guys find this helpful. If you guys have any questions in regards of the Leather Shop, definitely put it down below and I'll put the link where I got this from. I would definitely recommend getting this just because I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. If you ask me to pick between the Leather Shop and the Bakehouse, it's a little bit tricky because I do love both of them, but if you ask me to pick between the Leather Shop and the Caffeine Holic as well, I can't because they are both completely different as well. But I definitely would have to say that Leather Shop is definitely up my alley, and it's definitely an eyeshadow palette that I will always constantly go back to just because of the shade of the shade ranges. It's definitely very unique, definitely very different from all the eyeshadow palettes that Etude House has created. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.